Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you. We've got a matchup against my man Chance here. He's playing Zoro. I'm playing green purple Dofi. This is going to be the final green purple Dofi match just for a little bit. I really wanted to get a deck profile out because there has been a lot of people, asking for one, and what you should be looking for, why certain matchups are in your favor, others not so much. And yeah, I'm excited. We should be posting that probably tomorrow. I'm gonna be working on it and editing it out tomorrow. I do have to work today, but yeah, it's definitely in the works. So we're gonna put down that Buena Festa though and search out the Nami. He does put down Sunny-kun on turn 1. And also, excuse me if I sound a little weird or if I end up clearing my throat. I think I got some, either some seasonal allergies going on right now, or potentially I might have gotten a little bit of a cold. So we'll see. I do end up finding another Nami here, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to take this or the 2K counter, but I want to be able to get as much card draw as possible, and just having some of those bodies are really nice against the Zoro matchup. I felt as though in this matchup particularly, I definitely want to try and be going as wide as possible. We're going to see Magura coming down, swinging 7 with Sunny-kun, and then a 7 with lead. I'm going to take both of these pretty easily. I'm fine with going to a 2-life position, because for me personally, getting blockers down as well as having the events for a little bit of backup from Zoro's aggression can definitely be the nice part in this matchup. I'm like, okay, I can handle this, I'm not too I'm not too upset. But we're gonna go 5 at the Sunny-kun. I will pay the 1 for Nami though, putting it down. Just pick up a little 2K counter, and it looks like we did bottom deck an event as well as Queen, but just pass it over. And getting to that 8 dawn, maybe like 7 dawn turn, turn 4 is where really we can start, truly defending ourselves pretty well, and also just kind of building a board while we're at it. But we do see an Otama into a Vista taking out the Nami, but I didn't see Marco, which I was pretty happy about. Oh, actually, would he have been? No, he was at 5 dawn. Okay, I was thinking he was at 4 for a second. Yeah, so I didn't see a Marco. I'm pretty happy about that. Marco is pretty annoying to deal with, but I will just go 6 into the life. I do end up giving him 1 card here. I don't plan on giving him a ton, but I want to go and get some bodies on the board. We get Brook and Nami, search out another Brook, and this will be helpful for if we end up getting the 7-cost Luffy, or if we already have it. I actually haven't taken a look at the hand as much as possible. Yeah, it looks as though we already have it. So getting that Brook will be really nice. And I know I want to find an Uta. Uta is just so valuable in being able to, rest some of these other cards that I'm not trying to deal with. I'm like, okay, you swing with Vista, but you might have Makino in hand to also swing with Magura. So I'll just, rest the Uta, block with the Uta, and then rest the Magura. But having him be up at 7 dawn now this turn, we are looking to see what could happen, and we do see a Fire Fist coming down. Gets rid of a guard point though, not too mad about that, and Nami does have to go. But this is the reason why I love this deck so much, is we do have equal, if not better, card draw than Red does. Red really does replenish the hand with tons of searchers and stuff like that, but we haven't seen any yet, so I'm pretty over the moon about that. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make sure that he's not swinging as aggressively as possible, but I will just get the 1K counter out. Another Magura coming down, swinging 7 with this one. I'm debating on whether I want to use I think I have a Thunder Bagua as well as some other events in hand. It looks like a Punk Gibson and a Spider's Web, but I do just choose to take this one, and then we will use, I believe, the Thunder Bagua. Yeah. So ramp up at dawn right there. And I put it as active accidentally. It's funny because I always end up mixing up which one is active, whether it's the trigger or whether it's the counter. And so I literally have to reread Thunder Bagua like every time I use it. Like, no kidding. I don't know what it is, but I cannot seem to remember which one it is in the moment every single time. I'm like, okay. And it's very important to remember. But yeah, usually I'll just go, okay, let me reread that. We'll go 5 into the Vista though, 5 into the Magra, just getting some of that board gone. I don't really need to pressure his life too much right now. We've got Luffy into Brook into Buena Festa. And now we do see the Uta. We're definitely going to be taking that. It does suck to bottom deck another Uta as well as 2 other events, but we're looking pretty healthy in hand, so I'm not super concerned. But definitely needed to be done. Now I'm thinking, what do I want to do with this remaining 2 Dawn? I think we just pass here, activate another 2, and yeah, go to 4. Beautiful. Now he does get the card draw going to 9. Not like 9's not going to be super scary. You know, if Newgate comes down, great. Not really too worried about it. And it also lets me develop my board quite a bit. But I'm expecting searchers by this point. I think that, you know, that was one thing that happened this match that really didn't go his way. And we did play one other match, but it almost felt like I shouldn't post it because he searched, I think, 2, maybe 3 times and whiffed, I think, 2 out of the 3 searches. It was just like, oof, you know. But this match ended up going a little bit better. But we do use the Punk Gibson here, blocking with the Luffy. And now we see the Marco coming down. Definitely the bigger body threat that this deck, it's not like it can't handle it. It's just harder to deal with simply because Punk Gibson doesn't rest it. We don't end up being able to use Sugar to rest the card and get some swings into it. It's a 7,000 power swing every single turn. So that means I'm either blocking with Luffy and losing a card from hand, or I am, you know, using an event. So it definitely comes with me having to lose some things. And now we do search out 2 10-drop Dofis, which is great. I'm like, oh, I can't pick that up. But I do just decide to take the Brook here because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If he does have rush cards the following turn, I definitely need the counter power. I've got 1 event left in hand. I might want to get the Uta down to potentially get some rests in. But I know that I want to get him within KO range for the following turn. I'm just going to swing 5 to life and then another 5. We do see the Vista combo coming down, and I swing 7 here. Being a little aggressive. Just a little aggressive. He does get the in 2 years searching out Nami, and I will have, I believe, 9 Dawn left. Yeah. So with 9 Dawn left, we're just going to lift the Buena Festas and then put down Luffy into Uta and go ahead and pass it over, reactivating the 2, kind of bluffing that I have 2 events in hand, but realistically I've got, I think, 4 cards, 1 event in hand and a couple of counters, so we're definitely not looking bad. But you know, depending on what he can find here, you know, it could be a little bit odd. And yeah, there is a rush Luffy. But nice enough. We shouldn't have to deal, or shouldn't have to worry too much because we know that he got rid of a guard point. He's got 2 life left. It's a pretty solid spot to be in with 5 bodies on board with 5k power or more. But as you can see, we do have, I think that was Punk Gibson. I believe it was Punk Gibson and like a 4k worth of counter as well. And it looks like his hand is bricked up with no counter power whatsoever. But we'll see a 7k swing. I'm kind of deciding whether I want to counter out of this or not. And I do decide to. I will just rest the Luffy, counter out with Brook. And now we also see a 6,000 power, probably coming at, I would say, maybe one of the Brooks. Could be at life. Yeah, it could be at life. But I'm thinking, is Nami a threat? No, because he just played Nami. Not a big deal. Otama could be pumped up, but who cares? Yeah, not really worried. But we will see the Zoro coming down, 7k swing. And now I'm like, okay, how much Dawn do you have left? You have 4 Dawn left. I will just use this to Spider's Web and restand the Luffy, because if you do play another Zoro, then I can just rest the Luffy again, and I have 1k counter left in hand. And he does play a second Zoro, and I know that one of his last cards is the Rush Luffy, so I know he doesn't have a lot of counter power. We should just be able to go for game now. I draw into the Nami. It's kind of irrelevant, because with the board we built, this is exactly why I run these Brooks, man. These Brooks are just so nice in so many matchups. Just being able to get as many bodies on the board as possible, just flooding the entire board with multiple swings is super helpful. And now, obviously, you know, I could, with 2 cards in hand, could go for board, but that would just be silly. We're definitely going to go for game here, knowing that one of which is a 5-cost Luffy. Just attached to... no, we just swing 5 with Brook. He does just counter out. Now I know he has no counter power, but we're still just going to be safe from guard point and... or not guard point, excuse me. Fire Fist and Jet Pistol. So I will just swing 5 now. He does take this. I will go 7. And then we'll just attach 2 and swing 9. And we pull the game. Not too shabby. But it definitely feels like sometimes Zoro can just be overly aggressive and get a lot of those searches and high roll on that deck. And it's just super unwinnable. But yeah, this one felt nice. But I do think it came down to a lack of searches on his part. But let me know your thoughts, guys. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.